Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of What Is Real Is. Um, Damn, I feel really bare with my shave on. I decided to do something a bit different today, something a bit more tongue-in-cheek, maybe a bit more light-hearted, um, and discuss an interesting topic. The symbolism of the shoe in Islam and in Judaism. Now, I think a lot of people might have noticed the kind of inordinate amount of importance the shoe plays within Islam, but I don't know if people are that aware of the importance of the shoe in Judaism. So to begin with, I think you might have seen some at some points, maybe an Arabic, maybe an Egyptian newscaster, um, you know, getting in, talking himself into a frenzy, and then displaying his shoe and slamming it on the counter or something of the sort. Um, or people threatening to throw shoes at one another and actually following through with the threat. Most maybe famously is an Iraqi man who threw his shoe at George W. Bush. Um, so what's with that? Well, those of you who have some familiarity with Islam might also know that Muslims take off their shoes before entering mosque, before prayer. Um, this is because the shoe is a symbol of taint, un- of being unclean. The sole of the shoe is dirty, and this reflects in Islam into a wider, more metaphysical nature of the shoe. To them, the shoe is the ultimate symbol of being unclean, and so the most maybe insulting thing would be to stomp on a person or to actually hit him with your shoe in any form, in any way. Um, and also this is also why you are not allowed to go into a place of prayer with your shoes on, because that would sully the place, desecrate it with the dirt of that is on your soul. Um, Interesting enough, there is also a rather common swear word in Arabic, um, and it goes in al, and after that comes in al rabbak, for example, which means um, something similar to curse your Lord, which could also mean your God, or in al dinak, meaning curse your religion, um, things of the sort. Now, as I understand it, it is actually a kind of a bastardization or playing around with another word, il'an, which would actually mean curse, but in al actually is more similar to shoo your Lord, shoo your father, shoo your whatever. So the word for curse has become shoo, or like a verb to shoo somebody, even though it might not make a lot of sense. So that's in Islam. Now, what about Judaism? Funnily enough, there is a similar kind of tradition, but the actual meaning of the shoe is almost opposite. Within Judaism, a shoe is actually a symbol of dignity. It is a symbol of man's dominion, of his honor. So, and I think the issue in Islam comes from maybe a misunderstanding of what the Bible intends in several instances. So, when, for example, and I think this is where the mosque issue comes from, where Moses is demanded to take off his shoes while addressing God in the form of the burning bush. The meaning behind this is not, do not sully the ground on which God is. Rather, take off your shoes to show that you are lesser, to prostrate yourself before God. By taking off his shoes, he is literally becoming a smaller person. Like, he is shedding off his honor and his dignity before God. And this is also why typically Jews pray with their shoes on. And also, there is a saying that to have shoes is actually more important than owning a house in Judaism. A man without shoes is a man without dignity, essentially. And a word for a beggar in Hebrew is a barefoot man, one whose foot is bare. And there is a curious ceremony within Judaism. So, within the actual law in the Bible, a brother-in-law to a widow must wed her, and a brother-in-law who refuses to wed the widow is then called to come before the community and profess that he will not marry his brother's widow, upon which she takes off his shoe and then she spits in his face. And this is to say that he is a person without honor and he is publicly disgraced. So this is a curious little thing within both Islam and Judaism. Again, I think that the difference in the actual meaning of the shoe stems from maybe a misreading of what the Hebrew text means in Islam. But maybe it's something else. Maybe it stems from some kind of common Semitic tradition. I don't know. I just thought it might be interesting and kind of take off, create something a bit more entertaining, more strange. I don't know. So this is it for today. And until next week, have an awesome weekend. See ya.